bacon jam. All right, you can start off with any kind of bacon. This is applewood bacon. I'm actually going to use about a half a pound on this one here. And yeah, I'm just going to start cutting these up into nice little small dices. I'll show you like this. As you can see, these are the small little pieces that I'm trying to accomplish, small little dices, all right, because I want this to cook quickly and you get a better crust on that, all right. So you see, got the half a pound already all cut up, all diced up, okay. It makes for crispier bacon and it renders the fat quicker. So now I got the pan heated, it's nice and hot. So as you can see, I'm not using any oil because I'm going to let the bacon itself release its own oils. And I'm just going to cook this through. So now I'm going to start with an onion. There's going to be about half an onion. Slice them up. And then I'm going to dice them up like so. Lay them flat. Stack them up, cut them through, turn it over, cut again, get the nice little dice. See, this is what I'm looking for, small little dices. Also, the onions cook quicker, it reduces quicker. So now you see I got my bacon here starting to cook through. So now I'm going to continue cooking the bacon, all right, until it gets a little bit more dark, a little bit more brown. As you can see, this is what I want, okay, nice crispiness to it, all right, all that fat has been released. This is what I'm looking for. So now I'm just going to remove the bacon from the fat, put it on a paper towel to dry it up, okay, nice and crispy, and start with my next cooking process. So now that the pan is nicely hot, I left about a tablespoon of the bacon grease in there, okay, just to coat the pan. As you can see, it got little bits and pieces of the bacon that was in there. This is where I'm going to throw in my onions and start to saute them, okay, get them nicely crystallized. Don't want to overcook the onions. Okay, so now the onions are nice and brown, nice and crystallized here, okay, translucent. And now we're just going to throw a couple of basil, okay, finely chopped. Mix that in very well. Here's what I add: a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar and a quarter cup of coffee, okay, any kind of coffee you like. I prefer espresso. Gives it that nice depth. Lower the heat down. Now I'm just going to add my bacon that was draining in the paper towel. Give that a nice little mix. And I will start to reduce the heat in a minute. Now I'm going to add a quarter cup of brown sugar and give that a little stir. And lower the heat. So as you can see, the heat is down to a very, very low simmer, okay, because you don't want to overcook this. Because if you do, what's going to happen is it might turn into a candy-like texture. Here's what I add: about 2 tablespoons of honey. So like I was saying, if you happen to overcook this and it becomes into like a little candy type texture that is kind of hard, then what you can do is have some popcorn set to the side and you pour this over some popcorn, and it'll make for an amazing little appetizer there, you know, some bacon jam over popcorn. But other than that, just keep an eye on it, keep stirring it. As you can see, it's low simmering, okay, and you just want to keep it nice and liquidy. Let it get thickened up a little bit by reducing most of the liquid there, and I'll show you. As you can see now, most of the liquid is starting to reduce, okay, it's starting to disappear, all right. Try not to keep it in the stove longer, because then it's going to turn into a hard candy type texture shell. Okay, as you can see now, it's nice and gooey. Okay, it's turning into a jam. All right, and this is what I'm looking for, just like this. So now I got some sourdough bread. You can use whatever bread you want. You could use a biscuit. You could use English muffins, whatever you like. Okay, I cut them in big pieces, either straight down like that or in an angle, however you want to do it for, you know, plating purposes and stuff like that. But yeah, this is what I did. All right, so now I'm just gonna go and cut it straight through the middle and open them up like so, and drizzle some olive oil. Okay, like, be generous. You actually want to kind of like drain it a little bit. So now I'm going to put it in the pan and I'm going to toast them. So now my bread has been nicely toasted. Here's my plate. Okay, and yeah, this is the color you're looking for, nicely toasted, not overdo it. Okay, and I'm just going to set them in this plate and I'm going to put some jam on there. Nice, so here's my bacon jam. Nice, okay. So I'm just gonna go and just put it right on top. Be nice and gentle. See how you can just spread them like a jelly. That's why it's called a jam. And I'll be back with the finishing touches. So I want to make some soft scrambled eggs. So I'm gonna start off by making some Scottish eggs. 2 tablespoons of butter. Stir that in there. Then I'm just going to add 3 eggs to it. So now I'm going to keep stirring, because this is a stirring process when it comes to this egg. All right, so you try not to let some of the pieces dry up. You want to keep them all uniformed, okay? And you're just going to keep stirring it. You're taking off the heat, put it back on the heat, take it off the heat, put it back on the heat. And as it starts to cook, you would dictate if you want it either wet, dry, or in between. You see how it starts to come together? So continue this mixing process as needed, okay? Try to maintain it off the heat as much as you can and keep stirring, all right? You can control the egg better that way. Then put it back in the heat, take it off the heat, okay? So now this is the texture that I'm looking for, okay? Semi-dry, not too wet. Yeah, perfect. Now time for my plating. I got my bacon jam. Pour a little bit of eggs on there. And there you have it, folks. Bacon jam with soft scrambled eggs. Looking nice, doesn't it? Okay, there you go. Nice breakfast or brunch. Can't go over that. Delicious. Now we're gonna go with the stuffed sweet plantains, steel cross style. As you can see, I got my pot heated up. I got about a pound of beef here, okay, lean. And I'm going to use avocado oil today instead of the regular olive oil. All right, and the reason why is because it has a different flavor that I would like to add to the meat. Plus, since I have the pan on high, avocado oil actually resists getting from being burned, okay? I'll throw my meat in there. I'm going to start to cook. So if you guys ever want to cook anything on high heat, avocado oil is actually the best. And the reason why I'm putting oil in this beef is because I don't like dry meat. So I'm not going to wait for the meat itself to release its fat. That's why I'm putting the olive oil in there, or the avocado oil. You could use vegetable oil. Now I'm just gonna put about maybe a tablespoon of tomato paste and mix that in there. So I want to keep, once again, this beef wet. Okay, I don't want it to dry up. I just don't like biting into dry meat. Now I'm gonna add about maybe a tablespoon of garlic powder. Put that in the mix and mix that up. And throw in some sliced onions. Okay, this one is sliced, not diced. And yeah, it's perfect. I want that long, stringy type onions when it starts to cook and it starts to, get nice and soft. All right, so now I want to cook this in process. Everybody likes to put everything in at once, all at the beginning. I don't. So I'm gonna put in some sazon con achiote there and give that mix up. Okay, just like that. I like to cook in stages. I don't like to throw all the ingredients at once at the beginning, because a lot of it gets cooked off, gets burnt off, gets lost in the translation. I got some sofrito here, about 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna throw that in there. And then I'm gonna throw in 2 tablespoons of recaito, okay? And mix that up. Now I'm giving this a nice stir, a nice mix. As you can see, the vibrant colors, everything pops. It makes you just want to stick a spoon in there and just start tasting. But I'm not ready for tasting. I'm just gonna make sure everything is thoroughly cooked, everything is thoroughly mixed, okay? This is what I'm looking for. This is what you should be watching out for. Okay, now everything is cooked. And now I'm just gonna start, like I said, in stages. Now I'm gonna add my adobo. I could have added at the beginning, but no, it's gonna cook away. So here, now I have some beef broth, and I'm gonna add about maybe a 1/3 cup of that, okay? Just to keep the beef moisture, okay? I don't want it to dry up. Now I add my little small can of tomato sauce, all right? And that's for the flavor. If I would have added it to the beginning, the tomato sauce would have dried up on me and actually dry up the meat too. This is why I do it in stages. Now I got some pepper, okay? About a teaspoon. Give that up a little mix. And I'm using some Himalaya pink salt on this one. Okay, you can use whatever salt you want. This is also about a teaspoon. And give this up a nice little stir. So as you can see, my beef is nicely cooked, okay? Most of the water has evaporated. Look how beautiful that looks. Look how inviting that looks. Look how perfectly the onions are cooked. Everything in stages, okay? And you can't go wrong. Now I'm gonna take it off the heat, and I'm gonna add a new pan to the fire, okay? And start on my next stage of cooking, okay? And this is when I introduce the sweet plantains. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut off the ends here. And with the tip of my knife, I'm just gonna make an incision straight through. Put my finger to it, start to separate the skin from the banana, and peel them off. Once again, if you touch the sweet plantains and they're kind of soft, they're ready, because this is going to be like a boat, like a canoe. If it's too soft, it's going to break apart on you, and if it's too hard, it's not ripe enough. So it's got to be like semi-soft. All right. So you're going to make the incision. So the only way you know that it's ready is that you'll be able to peel off the skin off the banana quick. See, if you struggle, it's not good. If it peels off real quick, then it's ready to be used for this dish. We actually wait for it to be sweeter for our regular, fried sweet plantains that we normally do. So here you see I'm putting it in oil there, okay? And yeah, I'm just gonna cook each side for about 2 minutes. Keep an eye on it and turn it again, and just try to cook it through without burning the actual sweet plantains. All right, so you see I'm turning them, okay, constantly turning them every 2 minutes or so. All right, on medium low heat. All right, a lot of people would take these plantains actually and deep fry them, or they will actually, have half the frying pan deep with oil. I don't like doing that. Okay, so I don't like it too oily. So now you see that right now it's starting to cook through. All right, and I'm just gonna start taking them off the pan and dry them up and let it cool down on paper towel. So it has cooled off a little bit here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the knife and I'll make an excision. And what I wanna do is I wanna actually take some of that inside out. Okay, so I do it with a spoon. You can use a knife. You can use whatever it is. All right, so you want to carve it out, and you actually want to make a cave or a hole, whatever you want to call it. See, because that's where you're gonna stuff your meat in. Okay, see, so it's nicely, carved out. And I'm just gonna take a spoon, or you can use your fingers and your hands, and yeah, look at all that meat, look at all that onions, and just start stuffing the sweet plantains. All right, so try to get all the onions and everything in there. Try to stuff them the best you can. Like I said, you can use your finger and press it in. And look, this is what I'm looking for. Nice color, nice texture. Now wait for the plating. So there you have it, folks. Stuffed sweet plantains, steel cross style. See how nice and wet and juicy the meat is with the onions, okay? This is what you want. People will actually eat with their eyes first before tasting your food. All right? And don't forget, respect the food. Thanks for coming.